very good morning to you all. My name is Daddy Chris, and this is the African Renaissance Television. I'm reaching you here from London, and the show is Rise and Shine Nigeria. What do we do here? We take a look at what is happening to us as a people, and in a way, try to provide solutions. On today's show, it is deep inside me, and I want to bring it out slowly and carefully. Don't forget, it is my own opinion, not the opinion of SRTV. And I want to be clear. It's not the opinion of this television station. It's never the opinion of everybody that is here. That will be me pouring out, and every of my colleagues, they do the same. Tomorrow, we'll be joined with this very special guest. We're going to look at the issue of taxation. In the UK, I'll bring an expert from the United Kingdom to talk to us about taxation so we can have a better understanding of what tax means. But today, I want us to talk about one thing very important. Some years ago, some Africans, inspired by the very work of Marcus Garvey, I'm talking of Nkrumah of Ghana, is topmost in the list. Then we come to Nigeria, we have the like of Nnamdi Azikiwe, Awolowo, and Tafawa Balewa. They fought to have independence for us. So that was in the year 1960, they got it. The British said, okay, rule yourself. Now, I want us to take a note of this. They said, now you can rule yourself. Why did we ask for independence? That's the question. You want to run your own affairs, but in one context, sometimes we don't actually look at the real details. Why were we fighting to have our own rules? Because everything we were producing then were coming to the United Kingdom. It was Britain, in fact, Nigeria was a segment of the UK. Everything they do was brought here for the benefit of the people here. That's why even when they were training us, they were training people like the Mazikwe, people who could stand and work for them. Have you seen during the kind of how the Mazikwe were dressed? They wear this khaki trouser with a long boot, with long stockings. Hey, all hail the Queen. They wanted to be free from that. But the bottom line was the British people, what were they doing? They were there for economic reasons. They were not interested in subduing you. They were not taking our women. They didn't come to kill us. They come to take something from us. What we have, our economy, that was what we wanted back. So when we say leave us alone, meaning we want to be in charge of our destiny. Our destiny is really our economy. Sometimes you guys speak big grammar in there. Our destiny is our economy. Because that was the only thing the British were taking. In fact, in other areas, they were helping us. Let me repeat that. In other areas, they were helping us. Only in the area of economy that they were exploiting us. That is exactly what happened during slave trade. Now we've got independence. Thank you very much to Nnamdi Azikiwe. Thanks to Awolowo, thanks to Tafawa Balewa, and a huge thank to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. Today, when we talk about Nigeria, let us ask ourselves whether the essence of independence has been achieved. If not, then why are we where we are? The British, they got there and they saw what is in our land. I want to take us a memory lane back. They saw what is in our land. That was why they were there. So now I want to ask everybody on my studio today and everybody come on the show today. What are those things that the British saw in your land that they were taking away? That prompted our leaders then to say, no, leave us alone. We want to control our own resources. Because it was about resources. These people did not come to, they didn't shame you. They didn't do anything to you. They were not even raping our women. They were only taking what we have. And now that you have independence, do you know what you have? If yes, where are they? Now those people, now Awolowo and them, they are all gone now. They've handed power to today. President Tinubu, the like of our governor of Delta State, Boriwori. We have them in Lagos, everywhere now. We have a new breed of leaders. They are children, we are the generation of those who have passed. What our fathers, is it the Nigerian national anthem one time was, the sweat of our heroes past shall not be in vain. My question this morning is the sweat of our heroes in vain? If not in vain, what were the people British taking from us? Where are they? And now that you are in charge, can you see what you have? That is the question of today. Luckily, I have Asaba fully here with me this morning. Again, they are ready. But very big morning to you guys in Asaba.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Chris.
Yes. I just threw a bomb. I said our forefathers fought for independence. They fought for it. Today we are independent. And I want to use the very word of Malcolm X. We always say we got independence. We got independence. Malcolm X said, when he was asked a question, he said, we have been duped or have duped ourselves into believing that the chain that has been broken, when in truth, that the chain they used to chain us has been broken. But in truth, we have only been secured. They actually secure us more. We have been chained more securely. That's the very language he used. And he went further to say, have freedom in many instances is actually worse than no freedom at all. Because when you don't have independence, maybe that sometimes can make more sense. Then you know you are up against a battle to get independence. But now, as it is, it looks as if we have an independence, but with no independence at all. If we have independence, why are we poor? Where are the resources we have in our land? Who is controlling it? Who is abusing us? This is no more the white man. It's no more the British. Now it is one of us. And that is what I want us to take a look at this morning. And I want to look at it in the context of what Peter said this morning. I'm happy Engineer Baka drew my attention to that when he asked a very big question in Vanguard. I'm sure we'll be looking at all that today. When we now say, let us have independence, we now have a country of our own. What are we doing to the independence our forefathers helped us to get? That's the topic of today. Thank you very much, guys. And I want to leave the floor to my men in Asaba. Trust me, they'll throw some big light on this. Welcome this morning, Asaba.
Yeah. Thank you so very much. It's indeed a great puzzle, and you have summarized maybe the entire thing in your opening salvo with respect to what was the main motivation of the British coming to, well, they said they came to a dark world. So they came to give us light, as it were, through religion, through education, and the rest of that thing. They said we were not civilized. But of course, history shows that we had a system, we had a structure. But they came and they needed something that would ease their operation. And if you look at the major reason why they came, you find out that it was essentially economy. It was essentially economy, and they saw what we had here, which they didn't have, and they wanted here to be. And in fact, here did become an extension of the Queen's domain. Yes, this year we shall be celebrating about, is it 65 now?
Yeah.
Years of political independence. And one we want to ask, political independence, what does what does that come up to in terms of economic independence? And how come that in 65 years we've not been able to get our radar right? We've not been able to get our focus right. We've not been able to harness those things that the British saw and felt that they would rather be here for a very, very long time. It took a struggle for them to take a retreat, as it were. Yes, they did take a retreat, but of course we do also know that they are not far off, because one, they left us with a culture, and that culture happened to be that here is like a forest or a farm. You come here, you harvest, and you take back to the home. Exactly. And how is that playing out now? We are left with a political system where people come in here, and instead of developing here, as sad as that sounds, instead of developing our system and our structure, they gather our resources and use it. There is no politician that wants this is sought here in Nigeria that has his children in University of Lagos schooling. No, there is no politician in the country, especially up north, that has his children schooling in Ahmadu Bello University, a one-time highly top-rated university. And so it is that our resources that the British left for us to manage, they left us with a mentality, a mindset, which we have not been able to wriggle out from, that you gather them here and you send them back to UK. I mean, to the developed world. That is exactly what is happening now. Our politicians, either in terms of medical tourism, it's just a slogan, Nigeria first.
Yes.
But if Nigeria is first, why is it that the president, when he gets sick, will not go to UCH? Will not go to UBTH?
Thank you.
Will not go to any of our teaching hospitals? And we vote billions of naira into Aso Rock Medical Center and a clinic in Aso Rock. Yet,
Yes.
the presidents we have always been going out there for their. So, yes, they did leave us. And I think I followed keenly when you were quoting Mark on S. The chain may have been broken, but mental slavery, psychological slavery, is far more enslaving than even the physical chain. And that is the truth. They may have left by the symbolic hoisting down of the flag of United Kingdom and the hoisting up of the green, white, green of Nigeria. But beyond the flag, it's about a cultural thing. And
Three
because
things.
we are still harnessing what we have here and not using it for the development of our climb, we are still taking them out for one form of investment or the other. For as long as that is happening, our system here cannot grow. And
In other words,
for as long
Ubaka,
as
we
that
don't
is
have
happening,
independence yet. We don't have independence yet.
no.
No,
Yes,
because when they came,
independence should be economic independence. We should have
Exactly.
people leaders whose children are schooling here. A president should be able to tell you, my child is studying medicine at the University of Calabar, and not even some of them who have their children here because they are still tender. We know that of was it Yahya Bello? Yes, in American owned and run school in Nigeria, and he has paid their school fees in dollar till God knows when. That is mental slavery. And you cannot claim that we are still in truth and in practice free. So you find a situation where we are more involved. We have leaders who are more involved in politics, and not governance. And that is why one of the key political leaders in the country lamented in one of the front pages, maybe Guardian or so today, that poverty is on the rise in Nigeria. And the reason is that those in government have abandoned governance. 2 years ago, it's not quite 2 years, by May 29, 2 years ago, we had an administration in place. A set of people came in to govern us, as it were. The moment they were being sworn in, they are plotting for the next election. So it's about election circle. So politics. And administration is being sacrificed. For as long as that is happening, we cannot ease off poverty. For as long as that is happening, our infrastructure cannot come up. For as long as that is happening, we are not likely to develop. because the resources cannot manage themselves.
Exactly.
What nature has given to you, which the Britons saw and fell in love with the place and made it an extension of United Kingdom. You know, that is just what nature has given to us. We require creativity in leadership, commitment in leadership, sacrificial leadership, leadership with a vision to turn that into wealth of a nation. But as it is now, we have not gotten there. And the huge question is, how long more will we be far away from that target? Because we are often thinking in terms of ethnicity, in terms of north, south, in terms
Yes.
of, oh, this is a man, this is a woman, in terms of this one is from my place, he speaks my language, and in terms of this one is a Muslim ticket. The
Yes,
only
exactly.
time we had a Muslim ticket in Abiola
Uh,
and Kingibe. Abiola and Kingibe, we had Muslim ticket. Nigerians voted for the track record of Abiola and Kingibe. The average Nigerian is not keen about your religion. The average Nigerian is about how can the Naira have value? How can my children be guaranteed of where they will walk if they come out from school? How can I go to the Ogonogo market, for instance, with 50,000 Naira and be able to buy things that can last me this long? That's what the average Nigerian. How can I, even in my community, even in my setting, how can whatever community effort we are making with respect to security, how can that be to complement what this government is doing? Not that the national security structure and architecture has broken down. Nigerians want to be safe in their country. Nigerians want a nation that can give them hope. And it is only a government that is committed to administration that can do that. Administration is about governance and not about politics. But as it is now, we may continue wallowing in this wilderness and not get to the promised land for as long as we are putting politics, defection, and buying over of people above sitting down to address the solution, identify the problems, and see how our society can be better. Until we are ready to do that, then let's get ready to be settled with mediocrity and fielding our third 11. Because I see Nigeria as a nation. Then we want to get a team and we want to face other nations. What is happening now is that the 11 we have put together, it's not even our third 11. It's not even our third team. Tinubu, we must face the fact it's not part of the third 11. Shouldn't even be in the academy, for goodness sake.
Yes.
You know, in terms of his profile, in terms of his credential. But that's where we are. And talk about the governors, you know. And interestingly, I also saw in one of the papers this morning that Pat Otomi of the Lagos Business School, a professor and economist, he set up a shadow government and said if opposition is crumbling,
good,
this is a shadow government. Let us be appraising the policy of this administration and be preparing alternatives if opposition has crumbled. And do you know that the Minister of Information came up to say that that is not what should be? That we should be thinking of how to strengthen what exists instead of thinking of how to have an alternative. You can imagine that mentality.
It's not listening.
I can give you option of how things can be done better. That is consultancy freely offered. I can give you my consultancy freely offered. And I'm going to set up people like mine who can think along that line. Let us plot the graph of how Nigeria can be better. But before you know it now, the next thing is that EFCC may go after him and they may pick him up.
Exactly.
You know,
for setting up an alternative.
Dissenting view. So that is where we are. And we must face the fact that, yes, we may be celebrating 65 years, thereabouts, 65 years of independence. We may also be talking about 26 years of unbroken presidential system. But to what extent has this translated into food on the table for the common man? We are far from it. We were doing better economically under the military. And even during colonialism, we were doing better.
Exactly.
So today, what has independence done to us? That's a big question. Mission.
Thank you. And before engineer, I know you're going to throw light on this, but I want you to look at the three things I put there. Engineer, he has talked very much on it, but as you drag in this, the white people were there, the British were there. We know it is for 3 C's. They came for Christianity, so they say, actually, we've embraced Christianity very well, so they left it with us. All right. So as you talk about this, talk about how we have taken Christianity, because that was something they did. They took our culture and they gave us Christianity. They took our governors and they took away our king and they replaced it with their government. They replaced whatever we were selling to ourselves and it was sent to Europe. These were the 3 C's. Let's be clear. The Christianity took away our religion. Colonialism threw away our kings and it was the British rule. And see, the things they were producing was for the benefit of the UK. So when you look at it, I want you to look at these 3 C's and look at where as we approach this story of independence. As we approach just,
Thank you,
know why this is sad, and I'm very sure you're going to touch on it. Why this is so sad is our people, our leaders are not looking at this. Or perhaps ordinary Nigerians are not even looking at this. That's why I brought the very word of Malcolm S. We have been duped or have duped ourselves into believing that the chain has been broken, when in truth, we have only been chained more securely. Thank you, engineer.
Thank you very much. Interestingly, this is a very historic topic for discourse this morning. And when you look at it, it is a reflection of the reality of what Nigeria stands for today. There are so many links to the narratives from yourself and Comrade Ubaka. We talked about the founding fathers of this country, talked about pre-colonial life and post-independence Nigeria in relation to present-day Nigeria. First of all, void between the present crop of leaders and the leadership of our founding fathers. Colonialism, or rather neocolonialism, is a product of trade. They came, they were explorers, they came, they saw, they interacted, and they saw we had a lot of natural resources, but we lacked the market. They came with the market, they came with the technology, they came with the idea, and we formed a partnership. Yes, you made a comment that yes, they did not come to enslave us, physical enslavement, but economic enslavement. And it was because of that economic enslavement that the Abat Macaulays, the Awolowos, the Ahmadu Bellos, the Michael Okparas, and so many other nationalists and visionaries who were part of the early colonial government, either as administrators or proxy leaders in whatever capacity, or working as independent Nigerians who had a source of livelihood. And that was when those political parties started. We had the NCNC, we had the Action Congress, then we had one in the north and all that. Now, the objective of our founding fathers were not misplaced. We should understand that. They thought then that we haven't had, yes, regional political parties that had regional strengths, and the leaders of these regional political parties, They are fighting, in quote, a unifying objective of bringing that Nigeria, of achieving independence for the Nigerian nation. Holding meetings in the UK, in London precisely, in Lagos. We were at such a time a colony of the British, because they were trading on our ignorance as a people with manipulative district heads who, of course, like the politicians we have today, would key into the whims and caprices of their benefactors and derail the trajectory of governance. It was very paramount. It didn't start today. But those first generation visionaries, I call them visionaries, I call them leaders, they did not have, they wanted a one Nigeria post-independence. They wanted a Nigeria that we could have been united. Today we could have been not just the most populous black nation, but the most influential and the richest black nation after America. Of course, the blacks in America are from Africa anyway, but the most influential black nation in the world. Now, where did the amalgamation of 1914, where did it now cause a frailty? I think at that time, the British should have understood our diversities better than us, because they were more informed. If Nigeria had been so divided at that time, maybe we had Northern Nigeria, we had 3 Nigerias, Western Nigeria, Central Nigeria. The problems that emanated after the First Republic would not have emanated today. What now happened? You talked about Christianity. Christianity was not the only religion then. They had Islam too. But the white men brought Christianity. Of course, they brought it and made our cultural values, our traditional religious practices, they tried to make it oblivious or irrelevant. But a lot of people still stood with the traditional practices. The Oshu festival, they go to all our villages, all our country today, they still practice traditional practice in your locality, in my locality, they still dance Igbe. Those are traditional practices.
Yes.
But then we saw a situation where the different leadership of the different political fragments, regional political fragments like the NCNC, the Action Congress, and I've forgotten the other one, they left the vision. They left the vision and followed the dream. The dream was selfish. The vision was unifying. The vision was for one Nigeria, but the dream was a selfish interest. Oh, we can possess this region and annex all the resources. It was like when Adam and Eve sinned in the Garden of Eden and their eyes were open and they realized they were naked. That vision was what cost us the Nigeria we should have been enjoying today. The leaders of that era, the First Republic, pre-independence and the First Republic, they came up with the McPherson Constitution, the Milverton Constitution in collaboration. You could see they were liaising with the House of Commons in giving us constitution to run our country then. Have you sat down to ponder the fact that Nigeria was richer then and now? Our grandfathers, our fathers, they enjoyed scholarships. The jobs were waiting for them. They enjoyed free meals. They were getting grants for going to school because the economy was better until we brought in religion, we brought in ethnicity, and we brought in culture. We're supposed to bring it in to unify us, but we brought it in to divide us, most importantly, religion. The Muslims and the Christians didn't see themselves as truly brothers anymore. Which each saw itself as a rival instead of as an accomplice towards an objective. And the flow of leadership from 1963, the First Republic, between 1960 and 1963, when we had the President General Nnamdi Azikiwe, you saw the simplicity of the visionaries. They were simple. They were not driving flashy cars. We had legislative arms of governance then. You didn't see, and we had more money then. Rolls Royce. Ojuku's father's Rolls Royce was borrowed to drive the Queen. Ojuku's father's Rolls Royce was the only one that had the Rolls Royce then. We had the money. The legislators then would have said, okay, they wanted to buy 404 or buy whatever, but they don't see along that line. They saw a rebuilding of Nigeria. Changed the trajectory.
Yeah.
Leadership.
Yeah.
That was when ethnicity started rearing its monstrous head.
Yeah.
Religion started rearing its monstrous head. Regional alignment started happening. And we started losing the essence and substance of leadership. And the creation, the oil boom, started exposing us. Oh, every region has some that are. So this is like this. This is like greed and avarice. Started setting. We lost the path that was set for us by our visionaries, the founding fathers. They meant well for Nigeria, but the follow-up leaders don't mean well for Nigeria. And at that time, have you listened to speeches by Nnamdi Azikiwe, by Tafawa Balewa in Northern, by Ahmed Bello? These are people that gave speeches without a script. It comes from within. It's an effusion of something that have been thought about.
Yeah, because they were statesmen.
They were statesmen.
They were statesmen.
They didn't need to have a script to write, to read from. But even the present leaders we have, even with the scripts, they don't make sense. So you can see the gulf in leadership. This present leadership, their style of leadership is premised on selfishness, self-worth, entitlement, and lack of sacrifice and commitment to leadership.
Yeah. I think if I understand Engineer Mishak,
Yes.
what he's saying is that if we are plotting the trajectory from colonialism, that we shouldn't forget a major landmark of what happened to us, the military culture of shooting yourself into power. To do what? To loot. To loot the Commonwealth. And yes, we may have had a situation where some of them are dropping the uniform, dropping the gun in some way, and wearing the agbada. But it's deeper than that. It's about a cultural thing. It's not the uniform. It's the culture of why I should get in there, whether the people want me or not. I conspire with others and make a broadcast. Fellow Nigerians, I, Brigadier this has. You have shot yourself into power. Not for the interest of Nigeria, not to develop, but to get access of what should be common to everybody. And for now, what is that thing that is common? Oil. Yes. And that is why every military general that is what is sought has an oil block. Has an oil block, and they are settled. The Danjumas of this world, they are settled for life. Their children are settled for life about the oil block.
Can we take this thing back?
It's not about sacrifice. It's not about service. It's not about to make Nigeria better. Yes, Gowon did say, go on with one Nigeria. Making Nigeria one is a task that must be done. That was so. At that point, the military came in and truncated the visions of the founding fathers, and it has taken us too long. Even when IBP came up with that, we are banning, the old brigade, and we are coming up with new breed of politicians. The unfaithfulness in the implementation of that return made politics a gamble. What happened to Abiola made many people who meant well to get back into their shell. And something very tragic happened in Nigerian political history. Agberos came in. Yes. Gamblers came in. 419 people came in. And today, this generation has not recovered from that. Because politics is no longer seen as service to the people with a vision for development. But how do I get this? settle this person and settle this person, and I don't know whether to call it repatriate now. Take some to foreign country so that should anything happen here, I am out that way.
I'm safe there.
So that is that. It is likely to take us time to recover from that major shock. Because a cultural shock from the military, that you do not need the people's buy-in to get into Northern barracks and from there rule Nigeria. Yes, we may be talking about Abdul Salam Abubakar. Oh yes, the day he was supposed to have been retired by Abacha was the day that posterity did it such that he became the head of state, and eventually presided over a symbolic return of power to the politicians. And who were the Democrats? Obasanjo, a former
military leader.
So that trajectory, we should plot it and plot it consciously.
Exactly.
We are yet to get statesmen who put the nation before self. We have adventurers. We just have adventurers. And why do you go into this kind of adventure? It's a high risk game. You are going there for a coup. I am either killed, or if I win, if I succeed, my life has become better. It's another level of gambling. And that generation handed over to the current generation that we have, that are masquerading as politicians. They are not, because they don't have the tenets and the culture of administration for the betterment of society. They are there primarily as adventurers to first of all better themselves, and just like the colonialists were doing, take some to a foreign country, so that should there be any broadcast of fellow Nigerians,
they are there.
They are back.
They are with their children there.
That is the tragedy of our situation. Until we have statesmen, until we have committed administrators, until we have selfless visionaries in leadership, then we might just continue in this current situation. And this current situation, there's a portion of the scripture that says you've been long enough around this mountain. We have gone around this mountain long enough. This obviously is not the design of God for Nigeria.
Thank you. And I really want us to, as we look at this topic, because it's very deep. It's very deep. It's not. There's so many dimensions to it. Because when you ask yourself, the summary is that the British came, they saw something in us. They came like adventurers. They were coming to trade. They saw something. We have natural resources. They want that. They came with a weapon. Some of them were good, some were evil. They came with the intention to say, okay, now we're going to give you Christianity. Either genuinely believing that the God we were serving was not the real God, that their own was better, because this is what it boils down to. The Arabs were the first to take us away. They came, they introduced Islam, believing that their own is better, that the African one has been barbaric from the one. Same thing the British did. So that answered one part of it. The question of sincerity of one or not is something we want to debate tomorrow. Of course, I dare not go there, but I must give you people the truth. The Roman Catholic Church took part in slavery. They have apologized. The Church of England, the Anglican, were slave traders. They have apologized. And I'm talking from facts. So that is Christianity that came to us, telling us our own was barbaric, that theirs was better. Whether it is for good or for bad, history will judge us. Children are asking questions. Number one. Number two, the second the middle thing is, okay, why not? It's a natural thing for the British to know how to administer things. So the colonization was an immediate thing, because to be able to get this done, we have to take over the rules. They told your king, your forefathers, every kingdom, every part of Nigeria then, of Africa, so be it, have a system of government. What did they do? They topple the government and replace it with their own. You will all do all hail the queen or you die. Our government were toppled. Now, the summary of it all was they came for one thing, and is what you have. And they did well. When they came to supply, I'm going to go to one that is close to me. They set up the AT&P, the African Plywood. Do you want me to name the companies they were able to set up? The British, they never even did the oil then. Because no, oil was not on the so open. They would have left too. If they had seen the oil, British people would never come out. You understand? They set up companies, and this company have nothing to do with oil today. And what they produced were going straight to the UK. That was their real aim. Now, our forefathers fought for independence to free us back. They've taken away the power. British no more control us. So colonization has been removed. Christianity actually come to stay more because we have been told that your father's system of worship is barbaric. And I cannot get away from this studio if I dare say otherwise. So I'm going to keep quiet. So that is number 2. The bottom line, Ubaka is laughing. Ubaka is laughing. The only one I dare say is the commerce. This was what we fought against. We tried to take over the power. Tinubu is now the president. It's no more the queen. We now sing Nigerian national anthem. So colonization, we can say, we've taken the power. Are they really powerful? You see, there's something you say. When they came, let me talk about one thing there. When they talk about even the colonization, they came, they tell you to shut up or you die. It was with the bullet. They had the gunpowder. We didn't have it. Today, Tinubu might be president. Trump can tell him, get up and leave that place, or else I'm going to shoot you. And he will do what? He will run away. You got no power. You don't have power. You see, you are the government without power. You're not a power. You're not a power because anything they say is what you will do. All of them are looking for approval from them. Otherwise, if America say you don't be president, you will not be president. We are not even the independence is alien to us. That is what Malcolm X was saying. That's why I brought that word this morning. Our commerce, I'm happy you guys have just said it, or Ubaka, you presented it so well. How can you say you are commercially free? In what way has Nigeria been commercially free? Is it the food you eat, you import all? Is it the treatment, export in tourism? Is it now education? Our leaders now, it's no more British carrying the money away now. They're not the one taking the money. It is our leaders now taking the money here, because if Tinubu just left Paris, or maybe London, how much did we spend here? Part of our money here. All our children studying in abroad, how much is it costing us? The treatment abroad alone. What do we do for ourselves? That we even producing anything for ourselves that we are selling to them? Do you have anything you sell to them? Or whatever you take, they take your oil and they give you peanuts. That is the situation. They come. We are not the one drilling the oil. They take the oil with them, Shell and all of them. None of them, the Nigerian companies. Shut up. People drilling oil in Nigeria, they are not Nigerian companies. You know nothing about how to drill the oil in your land. They give you peanuts for a month. This Nigeria don't even know how much oil they take away. Funny enough, is it not the quantity they say they take away that you know? If you know, why are you not drilling it? And look at those people owning oil block. They are another set of fools. You own oil block. Do you even know what is in the block? Listen, when you rob your brother to succeed, you will see destruction at the post of your success. What are we doing, people? Who did all these things to us? Who did it to us? Now, if you people want to agree with me that there is no independence in Africa, no independence in Nigeria, and Nigeria is the biggest black nation on earth. If anything going to start, it's going to start from Nigeria. If Nigeria want to flee this black skin, they have to start now. First, it starts with Christianity. Look at it there, I wrote it there. Christianity, we are not free. That in terms of Christianity, it still dominates. The three things they came with, one another. If you look at Nigeria today, if I tell you how many people shouted in the Jesus name today, Jesus is good. But the Christianity.
Chris.
Yes, sir.
Please, can I ask you a question? Can I ask a question?
Go on, sir.
Now, yes.
Go on, sir.
We are blaming Christianity, that they brought it to us. These same white men that brought Christianity to us, is it the way we are practicing it in Nigeria? Is it not the same God? They brought it to us. Look at their economy. Look at how many churches do they have in London? Meanwhile, in Asaba, the number of churches in Asaba is more than the number of churches in London.
In the entire UK, it's more than the churches in the UK.
Yes,
Asaba,
the churches in Asaba more than the entire churches in the
kingdom.
So I think we need self-evaluation. Self-evaluation in leadership management. Self-evaluation in leadership. We are our own problem in this country.
Engineer, let me throw one question to you.
Yes.
Do you know why I brought in Christianity? Why I accused them this morning? I'm a Christian. I go to the Catholic Church because that's how I've been colonized. You know the truth? I said it and I stand to be corrected. They were all slave traders. They were slave traders. This Christianity that they brought to us that we are now worshiping, the perpetrators, the people that brought it to us, they were slave traders. And I am saying it. And they have apologized. The Church of England, most of the things, the slave, you know what? It was the head of the church here that approved the buying of social slaves to go and do their sugarcane farm. I am talking facts. This is the same thing that is now reigning supreme in our land. How many churches do you have in Asaba? They couldn't go to farm. I dare not continue with that one. That's why I said, let me keep quiet. So I am not saying that I will go there. Let's not even go there. Let's not go into the aspect of the religion because I will be killed quicker than anything else. The Arab were the first to take us as slaves. The Arab, they were the first. And you know what they did to us? They incarcerated us. That's why you don't have black people in the Arab world. They didn't allow us to give birth to children. America, this side, they were breeding us like dogs. So we can make more slaves for them. The Arab were not ready to take that shit. You live and you die and you're off. So this is what happened to us. Now, I'm not saying let's go back and fight. I'm saying what have we learned from that? In fact, it is a sin to our children if we don't address it. You know what I see? I see God that God belongs to everybody. The God of the Arab, the God of the British, the God of the African, they are talking about one God. So anyone I worship is fine with me. But don't be blind as you worship it. Nobody tells you that the African way of worshiping God is rubbish. You are stupid. Because my forefather knew God. In my language, God is called Ogene. It didn't come from the Bible. It didn't come from the Quran. My language, there's a name for God. It's Ogene. It was there before the Bible came. So nobody tells me that my forefather way of worship is barbaric. But like I said, I'm going to address that today. Let's leave that one. Because that one I will get killed easily. You understand? I get stoned to death. Let's talk about colonization and commerce. I want to say commerce. Because this topic is too deep. You dare not go there. You are not allowed to say it. You better keep quiet if you want to live. But history will judge us. Whatever we do on this platform, Mbaka, children will research this and they may ask questions tomorrow. They might question us when we are in our grave. What did you people do? They came to you, saw the oil in you. They didn't see oil, they were taking on. In fact, beneath them, the Portuguese were coming, they came with mirror and alcohol. In return, they were taking oil, red oil. It was a good business. They never thought of enslaving us then. They were just doing business with us. Oh God. Yeah. Listen, we need to teach our children the true African history. Maybe that will let us to know that actually we have a God. Though. Our God is not that barbaric. Their God is the same thing like our God. There's going to be a reconciliation. But abandoning it and telling us this is the way forward, that is where we are. You see, now telling Tinubu, okay, good that you have now become president. You are now in charge of the power. How you use the power? Power is important. Don't forget this, the sweat of our heroes. This is people that got you this power that you are abusing now. Go after very dark man. Go after the decrease. But the power you are abusing, people fought for it, and it was not meant for this. Just remind the man. But the bottom line is, the essence of independence was to control our resources. Are we in control of our resources? Do we even know what we have? Are we looking into what we have so that we can sell to the rest of the world? The British came and they got what we have, they produced it and they sell to themselves. Meaning we have it, so we can do it and sell to them. And we'll be rich. Are we doing so? Or we are waiting for them to still come and take the oil and give us what they think is worth it. Because we don't decide how much oil will be. We don't even know how much it should be. They sit down in OPEC meeting and say, this is how much you must sell your oil. And the one they give to us is what we are sharing, fighting about. And some village fools, I call them village fools, you call them leaders. They are the one that will come to this church tomorrow. They'll sit at the front of the church. They are honorable men. They are the one that will share this money and send the children abroad for treatment, for school. Am I not guilty? I'm in London. Now run. That carry me reach here. So, and listen, Nigerians, we need to be independent. Like the very word Malcolm X said, I will remind you people, because we're not going to spend too much time on this today. It's annoying. We have been duped, or have duped ourselves into believing that the shame has been removed. That colonization is gone. But the colonization they came with is actually purer than the current one we are going through. The British colonization came with Christianity, they came with commerce, they came for power, but it's actually purer than the one we now take from them. Ask Tinubu if you understand that the colonialism has now been handed over to our elites. It's no more British. Our elites, those people control the money. You see them on your television every day. They have airplanes. A stupid Nigerian have a plane, which he cannot account for. Somebody who was in power, who looted our money, have a plane. We don't ask. He moved on private jets. We don't ask. Nigerians. Your former president, your former this, your former that, they have private jets where they forward the money. A village full of yesterday. We don't ask. We celebrate them. When they come, they throw some money for this side. Some people go die for that side. Or the next village fool that set up a church. Sorry, I have to say all. He's going to actually take your wife. I won't leave my wife. If I get wife, you go church. If you come back late, in fact, you know go enter my house. You know go enter that house. Make my wife go one church, say he come back late. With all these pastors I see. You know go come back. With my daughter, in fact, she go bury that my pikin and you go in Papa's house. You cannot look at the people now. Either look at the two people raping us. The pastors, it's not easy. They know that they can play on our intelligence. Tell us in the name of a God. Can take your wife and your child to them. They will take your money. Have you heard the story? Even women now go and make sacrifice with their husband's car. Then they make offering. Nothing you go fit do. You want peace in the house. But they know when they hold your wife, they hold you. What has the poor man got to do? Then Tinubu and the political elites, they're now taking our money. Not that people they go and send their children abroad. How many of your politicians have their children studying in Nigeria? Is that not a sin? Is that not the first thing? Some of them even went as far as buying private jets. They fly around. Now they'll hate me die. They'll hate me die. I know someone hate me die. But this is the reality we find ourselves. You're telling me that the God of my forefather was a barbaric war. Not the same Ogene with the Ogene of today. You don't change the name of God. Maybe the name, all of now here, if I ask now how they call God for our language, not be Christianity, you don't did that before Christianity come. Are you insulting my forefather? Have you changed the name of God? That name cannot be changed. They can change everything, but the name of God, as it was in my language, can never be changed. This name of God in other language, either only say, oh, this and that, you cannot change it. Whether you come in Islam or you come in this, it's the same God. Then when they talk of that, we know that the Muslims are talking about Ogene. I know the Christians are talking about Ogene. Say it in my language. Don't say it in English. You know what I want you to do today? Please, people, let me finish with Christianity and Islam. Ask your Muslim man or your Christian man to call you the name of God. In your language, don't say it in English. Don't call God Allah in English. What is God called? According to the Islam in my language. If it's not Ogene, I will change my name. That is when I will tell you will tell me that what my forefathers were doing were wrong. We don't want to go there, like I said. Don't go there. Something happened to us deep that we need to address. As if that is not bad enough. You know now, why this is concerning me still is now it become a business for some village fools to set up a church and take advantage of people. The same way the politicians now take advantage of people. Who is free here? The churches or the politicians? They are two thieves. Two powerful rogues in our society today. It's hard, it's still scary. Nobody will listen to this. I don't care. But the truth is, if you want to make quick money, it's either you are in government or you are forming a church. You're going to have followers, of course. You're going to tell them that this and this and that, they pay tithe or else what? And they're going to defend it. Why they decrease? Why you don't pay your tithe? I don't care. But that is the two ways to make money. Set up a church or set up or be in politics. So you can fly abroad. I can tell you the pastors, the children will not be in Nigeria too. So it's not only the politicians too. The pastors' children are not in Nigeria. They are not there. Meanwhile, the reason Fela talk about Allah. Fela talk. When he said about suffering and smiling. Now Bishop made they live for better house. The same way the politicians are living in the good houses. It's the same people. We're not saying everybody is going to be equal. But is that the Christianity even the British gave to you? Is that the same Christianity British gave to you? That you should march on people's head? That Oyedepo should be as rich? Is that how the British brought the Christianity? That Redeemer should be so powerful? Is that how the British practiced it? Of course, there's power in Rome. So maybe that you now have Rome in Nigeria. I'm not going to go into that. That's one area of it. And the same way you see, I bring this 3C today. The same way you see the commerce. The colonial power, the Christianity is there, the colonial power, all of them are going towards 1, 2 is for the number 3. 1 and 2 is for number 3. The politicians have taken over power. Our pastors have taken over power. The reason I know is Oyedipo is powerful. He has the money. He control commerce. He work for Rando. When I no verse, not be money. Now people money collect. If I like, Mona stone me to death. Now our money collect. The politician where you see so Tinubu money. Tinubu was an exile here. He get money. Today is a multi-billionaire. Now our money collects. So number 1 and 2 is for 3. The painful thing is we're talking about Christianity, about how the British colonized us. Their colonization was actually better than the one our people are now doing to us. When they came with Christianity, I went to a free Roman Catholic school, then to a Baptist high school that was free. Today, how many of these churches they built school for my children? When the British were rolling us, they gave us water. They gave us some basic amenities. Tell me what Tinubu government is giving to us. Buhari came with his parochial, with a bigot. He don't finish. Tinubu don't enter. Another bigot. When I come, I go appoint Northerners. When this one come, you go appoint Westerner. If Igbo man come, you go appoint Easterner. It's a shame. And until we remove this rubbish, we are going to remain. In fact, this poverty remains a self-fulfilling prophecy. The British are actually better. This is not what our forefathers fought for. They fought for a situation where we will have a church or an African traditional religion where they will worship God. The true God. Not in Christianity alone, not in Islam alone, but God is God. Because Ogene is Ogene in my language. It doesn't have a difference. And I can tell you today that the God, if you read the Bible in my language, God will be called Ogene. If you read the Quran in my language, God will be called Ogene. If you talk of my African traditional religion, God will be called Ogene. Don't call God in English. Call God in your language. Look for the name of your God in your language. This different language I bring it to you is confusing you. But look at what our pastors are doing. Why did the Christ? Come on, leave that topic. God said we can leave that topic. Maybe we'll talk another one. It's too scary. I won't talk about that one again. I promise, not on this show. We're going to go on a newspaper review. Let's go on a break. It's too scary. I go on a break. When I come back, we're going to do newspaper review. I won't talk about that again. I promise. Well, let's go on a break.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. Nigeria Week London 2025 is coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria, is partnered with Civil Society, scaling up nutrition in Nigeria.
Welcome back, people. Welcome back. Baka, you know, you guys in Asaba have a way of doing things. You can disappear and disappear. Just for information, engineer just left us. I know we're busy for other stuff, so we're going to continue with Ubaka, who's going to run through the newspaper for today. Ubaka, the studio has been too hot this morning. We're not going back to that topic. It's too tough. I won't bring it back. All right. Let's start the battle. We can finish. Again, one day say, Papa can't die. Ubaka might tell you this story. The papa of the guy died. He might have many wives. The guy inherited some of the women. If they go there, they go. Now the woman tell her, say, this is what your papa do, can't die. Now you walk on. You know they die, oh, that is the remain. So when we leave the topic, let's discuss on that issue. Let's discuss on that issue. He said, your son, Ubaka, let's get your son back. Asaba, we can't hear Ubaka.
Business. Okay, so the papers are indeed rich this morning, both pictorially and in terms of news. Not less than 5-6 national papers have the photographs of the president of Nigeria, Tinubu, and governor of Delta State, the sheriff of Borowore, talking of a meeting that the two of them had. And the meeting coincided with when 21 thereabout members of the House of Assembly in are all moving en masse to APC. So perhaps that was one of the symbolic gifts that Borowore gave to Tinubu for that meeting. So the papers have all of that. Let's just run from Guardian. Guardian, how insecurity middlemen drive up rice prices, force meal shut down. Talking why we cannot experience anything near food security now because of the pervasive insecurity in the environment. And it has led to how mills are shutting down and farmers can't go to the farm. So led with this morning, how insecurity middlemen drive up rice prices and force meal shut down.
But can't you see that the country? Wait a minute, Ubaka. If there is insecurity stopping farm people to go to farm, but there is insecurity that could make the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to pass a state of emergency in Rivers State. Yeah, that same state of emergency could not be passed on those people, on ordinary bandits that stop people from going to farm. We couldn't declare a state of emergency on those people. There's a disconnect there, sir. A huge disconnect. Mbaka, I think your sound is going off and on.
There hasn't been a decisive tackling of the insecurity. Then, of course, it's affecting so many other sectors. Like tourism cannot boom. It's not easy for people to go to places like Obudu Ranch now. And the plateau used to be a place for tourism. But with pervasive insecurity, you find out that a number of the other sectors are whittling down in their performance. It's in overall poor performance of the economy, and the GDP is going down. So we need to see how we can tackle issues of insecurity. But instead of doing that, our leaders are involved more in issues of defection. That's why Guardian has this morning on the front page, defection. Delta federal state lawmakers switch allegiance to APC as Tinubu meets Oborowore. So that is what we are prioritizing. And not how we can solve the problem of insecurity. Then we also have Obi, a 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, who made a donation in a Christian hospital setting, gave about 40 million to two hospitals that are being run by Christian organizations. And of course, he lamented that governance is crumbling, and that is why poverty is going high. That a number of non-government organizations are now stepping in to do what ordinarily government should do. So governance is failing in Nigeria. That is why poverty is worsening in Nigeria by Peter Obi. So these are
just on the same guardian, is that not Oboriwari and Tinubu? The cross carpeting story.
Yeah. They are in all the they are done in the front pages of all.
Yeah, you did well. You did well.
They are done in the front pages of.
So please tell us what we put our priority. What our priority is, is misplaced, because we're talking of how to win elections, not how to actually govern the people. The essence of government is to govern, not to win election, not to run from one election to the other, but to govern the people. Tinubu, you got a mandate, a sacred mandate to run the affairs of the country, not to win election. Or not to, oh God, this country will get wahala. Big one. Go on, sir. I'm with you, sir.
Now, rising insecurity. National Assembly, ex-generals demand urgent military rearmament. Rising insecurity. National Assembly, ex-generals demand urgent military rearmament. That's Punch. That's Punch.
Okay. All right. Nice.
That's Punch.
Okay.
Then the Punch also has on this front page that the Senate may pass tax bill today. Senate may pass tax bills today. Also, a panel has come up to oversee APAS. APAS is the sole administrator for Rivers. Then we also have JAPA, the JAPA syndrome. UK considers tighter visa rules for Nigerians and Pakistanians. JAPA syndrome. UK considers tighter visa rules for Nigerians and Pakistanians. That is to say that should the London studio of SRTV decide now to post Obaka from Asaba to London, that there's going to be a tighter visa, they will want to ask, why is he coming over to London? Why shouldn't he remain in Delta?
I'm going through a lot of that. Obaka, we're going through a lot of that, even for just to organize the Nigerian week, just to get ordinary Nigerians to come and celebrate their product, to showcase their product and services. We end up answering multiple questions. You cannot blame them. Nigerian government has failed and continue to fail us. If I'm sure if Nigerian economy was great, they won't even dare. The day you go to the embassy, that is the day they'll say, welcome, sir. They will say no visa restriction. They want you to bring the money here. They are looking for money. They are not looking for this. Now they know that you are coming to be an economic body. That's why they say
to seek asylum. Their fear now is that you are coming to seek asylum.
Exactly.
Because there is economic war. There's economic war in your country. So you are coming there to seek asylum. And they are not too keen about asylum seekers. That's it. Okay, so we also have in Punch, still in Punch, FG kicks as Pat Otome forms shadow government. Pat Otome is sick and tired.
In fact, it's like Pat is listening to you.
Implementation.
I'm going to call Pat today. I'm going to call him today.
Please do.
Because
Please
it's like he's listening to me. I always say this. If I were to be Peter Obi, I would have a shadow government. Not to fight, but to actually run the affairs of the country and touch life as much as I can. Because what Peter have, I don't know why Peter is not working with Pat Otome on this one, is to set up a parallel system that will say, okay, the government is doing this. We either supplement the government or we support the government in it. If they are going astray, we're going to go our own way. So it's going to be two ways. And what it does, it gives us alternative. And there will be more impact in what you will see. Now, you know what I saw the other day? I talked about credible opposition. Do you know that even if you're not in government, you can make more impact than the government? And maybe government is scared of that. But government, they are not threat to you. Let me put it this way. Peter can raise, and I want to repeat this, Peter can raise tremendous amount of money to set up Nigerian airline that we don't have. Peter, we need an airline. Maybe Patobi will do that for us. Now, we can set up a system of education that is not the government is paying them here to. You know how much Nigerian, you see, hey, oh God, the Nigerian entertainment sector, we will set up a system that will counter. Since the government of Nigeria don't see anything good in the entertainment sector, we will set up our own. Do you know today, sir, we have YouTube from America. We have Facebook from the German young man. Which one is from Nigeria? Not one. Now, Netflix is selling our product to us. I'm not talking of oil now. The movies we make, Netflix is selling it back to us. Amazon is selling it back to us. Hey, I hope it's not Patutomi. I'm going to talk to him. You're not setting up a political system of government that is parallel. We want it to be economical. Whatever part is going to set up, and I'm going to say this to you, Pat, let it be economical. Because if you set up a shadow government, not to say, oh, government do this, we're fighting him. No, set up a shadow economic system. Let me put it that way. You see what I'm saying, Ubaka?
He's a professor of economics.
Amen.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the kind of person I want to talk to. If he set up, money is never a problem in this world. The money to do things are in the hands of Nigerians. Not with Tinubu. Tinubu don't have enough money. Nigerians have money. If you can talk to us, we will invest in whatever part is going to do. Part, make it an economic alternative. Run by a system which you call your own government. That will have different ministries. The Nigerian ministry, we want to have premiership in Nigeria. Not the rubbish they're doing now. A premiership, a Nigerian premiership. If the government cannot run it, we're going to set it up. They either come to us or they wipe away. And these are things that are there for us to exploit. You know, over the years now, I've been looking at, I'm going to say this, it's a free business for everybody. NTA is the highest reach in the world, in Africa, so to say. The highest reach, NTA. NTA don't have viewership. Can I say that? Listen to me, my brother. NTA does not have viewership. Nobody watch NTA again. Okay, but Nigerian movies are roaming on YouTube. YouTube is having more viewership than NTA. No, please listen to me. YouTube have viewership than NTA. 90% of Nigerian movies, Nigerian content. There's a disconnect. So we have the content. We have the platform. But it goes to the outside world. Netflix sell our content to us. YouTube take all our... Look when I wake up now. Look when I wake up, my people. It is not rocket science. When they was taught in chemistry in school, they say the smallest... oh, Professor Buto, it go better for you. He said the most complex things are made up of the simplest things. The most complex things in life, my brother, are made up of the simplest things. I can't wait to talk to Patutomi. I think I have Patutomi number. Chris Wakobi, I gave it to me in the past. I'm giving him a call after this show. The government is welcome.
So,
political government. Yes.
We take a look at Vanguard. And
Okay.
Vanguard has the lead story there. Insecurity. Nigerians will revolt if action not taken. Talking about reps. Nigerians will revolt if action is not taken.
Who said that?
Not taken now.
Aha.
Then we leave that to, we're still in Vanguard, article to Board of Trustee women, article to BOT women. I'm not leaving PDP. Article to Board of Trustee women. I am not leaving PDP.
He wants to contest again.
Yeah,
Article is not run for president.
He's on his way out of
Yeah, to
PDP.
SDP.
And it had been said that El Rufai is his placeholder in SDP. But he is now telling the women who are in a board of trustee, I am not leaving PDP.
Can you ever trust Atiku? Can Atiku be trusted? Because Atiku is the biggest political prostitute I know in my lifetime. He has been in all the political parties. Oh, tell me which one Atiku not.
Yes, in one lifetime.
In one
Sule Lamido defense zoning says is cure not cause. Sule Lamido defense zoning says is cure of our leadership instability, not a cause. So as far as Sule Lamido is concerned, zoning is cure. It's not a cause.
Whether they zone it or whether the idiot from there is in village school, we don't mind. So we don't, like you said, we featuring our third level.
Very dark man, not told why he is being detained. The counsel to very dark man says he's not told why he is being detained. So you just put somebody on and you get the person detained. Though granted bail, still in custody. Though granted bail, still in custody. And is not being told why he is being detained.
Let us see how quick. You know what will be so interesting? Ubaka, I can't see how quick the EFCC will take a very dark man to court. They couldn't take Okowa to court. They couldn't take Governor Yaya Bello to court. They're going to take very dark man to court. What a priority.
Yeah.
Very dark man is your problem. He's going to court quick. Okowa is there.
Yeah.
Hey, Yaya Bello is there. What a country. Let's clap for EFCC. I don't go come. I don't go come. That's my country and they're here to come now. I'm afraid to even get there. Hey, somebody that have, in fact, very dark man for me is somebody you ignore. If you are a good government, if you are clever, you ignore him. He's not going to be able to make one impact. What kind of impact is he going to make? The more you fight him, you make him more relevant. I was taught in school to extinction principle. You can avoid the picking when they make noise. Now you are doing all this, you're making him more relevant. Take him to court. We are following you to court. We'll follow you to court. You see, the more these are people made Fela for us. Lock Fela up. Again and again, Fela became the most important person. Fela was the most important person in Nigerian history because of the way he fought the government. If Obasanjo get nightmare at Fela was Obasanjo's nightmare. I beg, let's go, my brother. Let's round up because we've done well today.
Vanguard is very instructive with two historic photographs on the front page today. It's not all the time that you have such photographs. The major photograph as Edo Speaker orders defects to APC. So you see, okay, there is
Tinubu not a shame. Tinubu not a shame, sir.
Yeah.
All this one, is it not too barbaric? And is it not too shameful? So all these are these are Edo people. They all defect.
Yes, they are all Edo people, including Adams Oshomole. They are all there. All of them.
Edo is now under in Delta. It's the same thing in Delta.
Yes, and underneath
only one man. Hey, Nigeria.
Yes.
I don't make Tinubu God.
Underneath that major photo. Yes. Underneath that Edo photo, you see Elder Sheriff Oborowore, governor of Delta State, having a handshake with an evidently frail-looking president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, and he said Tinubu receives Oborowore. Tinubu receives Oborowore in Aso Rock. Oborowore is looking ebullient with a bowler hat, a Delta, Niger Delta bowler hat, and you can see the president there. So That's just by their side. You have another headline: Benue Assembly, there's National Assembly, says its leadership will not honor invitation. Let's not forget, this is a running story. It's a developing story.
It's a developing one.
National
Yes,
Assembly, upon resumption, had invited Benue Assembly, say, come and account to us how you handle the issue of insecurity in your state. And here we have a very daring response from Benue Assembly. Benue Assembly, there's National Assembly, says its leadership will not honor invitation. Yes, you are there carrying the mandate in the National Assembly. We are also the carriers of the mandate of our people. We are not honoring that invitation. And that is that about Vanguard and
what they say, Tinubu pass another state of emergency in Benue. We are waiting. I'll pass it on the House of
Okay. So the two of them, you also have their photograph in Tribune. Tribune also displays a number of papers are trying to sell their front page today with Tinubu and Oborowore. Senate proposes National Summit on Insecurity, and you have Oborowore and Tinubu.
You know,
and
the amount of money they will spend. The amount of money they will spend on that summit is enough to solve the insecurity problem. Nigerians, the money we will spend on the
Delta PDP reps join APC. So it's a day of defection, and the Nigerian papers are still celebrating defection,
like we said,
abdication of responsibility by people we elected into power, and obvious celebration of mediocrity. That is where we are. And the press is a mirror of society. The newspapers today, regional, state, and national, are showing us where we are. And that is history being put together. Thank you so very much. As I hand over to Sir Chris in London.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. Thank you very much. And we said it all in this show this morning. Everything we discussed, we can see it playing out in Nigeria. Rather than fighting or trying to clean our society from colonialism or making independence our own, we are busy not addressing the key ingredients of colonialism, of the ingredients of the 3C, which is the commerce. These people are only fighting for how power, which is the center one here, is being by the elites. And how the churches will come to them maybe one other day. But today is the elite, Oboriwori and Tinubu, who are actually powerless. Tinubu has become a small god. But Tinubu, the good thing is Tinubu is not even in power. He get people a big passer. They tell the Tinubu run, he go run. So we pray that one day there will be true independence in the African states. And tomorrow,
we look forward to that day.
Exactly. And we're going to come up with a language tomorrow. And I know they will not be, they dare not say that. But I'm proposing, this is something that has always been there. Dr. Nkrumah said that today he is fighting for the independence of the Gold Coast. That his children will fight for the independence of Africa. That they will be fighting for the United States of Africa. You know, yesterday, this is so important. I thought, so you can see the vision of those that set up the independence for us. They never set up independence for this division, for this stupid act, for this act to stick to power, but to have an economic freedom. What was Nkrumah saying? Nkrumah was saying that we are too small as nations to be able to stand the pressure of the West. So he proposed the United States for Africa. You know, yesterday I was on this
Pan-Africanism.
Yes, and it's an understatement to use the word Pan-Africanism, because yesterday I come on the show and I told us here, I made it clear here that the budget of the Netherlands is 461. billion. Now, the entire Africa budget is not as big as, if you divide it by 2, our total budget is not up to 250 billion. The whole of Africa, 54 states. Now, imagine if we had one country called the United States of Africa, our military would have been stronger. Our currency would have been stronger. The reason I know is before this time, I live in Europe for some years now, and I can tell. When I came to Europe, we were using the Belgian francs. The biggest money was the Deutschmark, the German Deutschmark. All the other currencies were rubbish. Just like the Nigerian currency now, we're all rubbish. Until they now come together and they form the euros. Today, euro is higher than the US dollars. That is the power of unity. This is what our forefathers saw. Nkrumah. Today, we are busy fighting for who? Making Tinubu a god. Whereas we should be fighting for the United States of Africa. That is why I want to close the show. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me in Baka. We will do this tomorrow. Let us have an early exit today, because when we do we always do 2 hours. Today we'll do 1 hour 30 minutes. Please, let's take a break so that we can get time. We have time to do other things. Thank you very much. Your input has always been insightful. I'm proud of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm proud of you, sir. Okay, that's why we end the show today. We're not going to take it further. We'll be here tomorrow to actually maybe one day we'll be there enough. I dare do certain things today. We'll be there enough to look at the issue of the United States of Africa. This, if you do it, of course, you might not be alive, but if we don't do it, we will still die. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. Nigeria Week London 2025 is coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week. SRTV. Innovate.